Yeah, so you're looking at, the two main men who's involved in the based on information received and obtained who are allegedly behind the killing of Jerome. And there's a man who had survived the shooting by the name of Nankopal. Nankopal was planted by Rev. Yes, that's Rev Godfrey, Rev Martin, who lives in Santa Cruz. There's so many things that's going on with him and Kevin Tiliba Roberts. And then a prominent figure as in the picture. And that's here, the one of them called the Don, the only Don, the Skeng Don. So this go all the way back to the early 2000s with Skeng Don. So they have been, it has to do with politics, nothing to do with drugs, but politics and drugs and friendship. So there's this guy, Bobo, that Kevin Tiliba Roberts had robbed him his coke, and they used the money from that robbery that they robbed his coke to fund the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization in the last general elections last year. And that's where all of this is stemming from. The guy that they robbed, Bobo, his name is Michael, who's from, they have been friends for decades, but Tiliba had used their money to fund the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization in last year's general election. And then after, so you expect that the PNP would win, and then they would make some form of concession to pay the people them their money, but they lost. And that's when the relationship went sour. His girlfriend, Lisa, that's the one who packaged all the dope to go to England in Lascaux container in the packet. That's how they packet their stuff. And other ways they use white rum and various means of sending illegal stuff to England, and that's how they made their money. The reason why they had focus on Jerome is because the man by the name of Bobo and Jerome are good friends. When DK Duncan's daughter, man, this is some real mix up. DK Duncan's daughter, that's the one that runs up by against Fevan Williams this time. When she was running down there in Clarendon against Ronnie Spencer, they had brought in guns, George Pang, and other PNP enforcers down there. Jerome is the man that was able to send down rifles and all kind of thing to the men down in South Clarendon and chase them out. Tiliba is the one that brought them in. Tiliba, that's a guy up there in the pink shirt or light pink, or it all depends on what color you see. He's the one that was responsible for bringing the people in. Remember, this is the same guy, Kevin Tiliba Roberts, who had brought men into Jamaica to kill the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness. This man has never worked a day in his life, honest work. This man, his entire family, his brother, Nigel, who's in England too. And they decided that after they robbed the man his money, because you know that there's no honest criminal, after they had robbed him, they decided that they're not going to pay the man, they're going to kill him. So these men are the mastermind behind Jerome's killing, Rev and Kevin Tiliba Roberts. Then they said the silent man in this killing is Kenneth Skeng Don Black. Politics, drugs, Nankapal was planted by Rev. 2 weeks before that, Jerome was killed. Rev knew everything, even his right-hand man Prenter in Broward County and others. They knew that they were going to kill Jerome because they cannot reach Bubba where Bubba is in England. Because he living in England, it's not that easy for you to kill someone as it is in the United States due to cameras, and it all has to do with location. And the guy who they want to kill in England is well connected over there. Although he's on parole and he has an ankle bracelet, but he lives among, you said, the elites in England. So the killing all stem from Kevin Tiliba Roberts robbing Bobo and his friends them. And he used the almost $500,000 US to spend on the election last year to elect Mark Gombe as Prime Minister. So they are the one that fund even Jess in St. Elizabeth. Reverend Kevin Tiliba Roberts. They had funded her heavily by votes, by people things, even people that slowly had helped. They were able to coerce them with money. And now some of them are having buyer's remorse. That's their business. I have no sympathy for them. Because if you're born fool, you're going to die a fool. So this man, Nankapal, all along was planted there to make sure that the job is done to take out Jerome. Because they saw him, Jerome is there in their world, in the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization world. Jerome is the Dudosa in Clarendon. He had that amount of powers and the people love him. His friend, whom the organization has been focusing on, Gomika, dangerous to say it's Gomika that betrayed him. It all has to do with Gomika is the one that brought Kat and Nankapal to Jerome because they were good friends. So they are saying that he was set up by Gomika because Gomika wants to replace Jerome. He wants to become the Don. Some people within Jerome organization is saying that Gomika is not really a laborite, but he wants to be the Don. And that's the reason why he had set up Jerome. But for a man like Skeng involving what role he played in the killing, it go way back when from Chucky Brown days and a police officer named Fidel Beckford. They call him Muggle Dog. Yes, Muggle Dog. He used to be at Huntsby. If I had done what I should have done then, Muggle Dog would be still alive because they would kick him out of the police force of what he had done when I was at Huntsby. At the time he was a young police officer, energetic, very respectful to me, and you understand. And what he had done, what he did one night when I was working, hindsight is is 2020. But if I have done what I should have done then, Muggle Dog would be alive today. He would not, or maybe he would have been killed still, but he would not be in the police force. If this is the first time visiting the Jamaica Young Police channel and you haven't subscribed as yet, please consider subscribing. If you are already a subscriber but you are not receiving your notifications, please unsubscribe, then subscribe again, and make sure your notifications are turned on. At the present moment, it's only 172 people that subscribe to the Jamaica Young Police channel are receiving notification. Let me repeat myself. 172 people. That's the threshold that YouTube had put on the channel from They are surrogates from the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization. Surrogates. That's in YouTube. And it started from a guy by the name of Omar Ibanks, a convicted drug dealer and a deportee, after he had exposed Mark Gummerbeer Golden in the killing of the PMP councillor Tyson. That's from when the channel has been under attack, because he had revealed the names of the people who had played an integral role in the killing of this man. And it go right back to the opposition leader, the big belly white man from England. So they had killed Tyson to give Omar Ibanks the seat. So he had exposed the opposition leader in an alleged murder case. So to those of you who have stood with this channel over the years, thank you for your loyalty and support. Many of you have watched the challenges this channel has faced over the past 2.5 years. Through it, we have remained committed to our mission of sharing our perspectives, encouraging discussion, and standing by what we believe is the truth. History reminds us that evil and wickedness may appear to prosper for a season. There are times when deception seems to win, and those who celebrate wrongdoing believe they have the final word. But history also teaches that lies are temporary. Lies are temporary. Truth as a way of enduring, and integrity as a way of outlasting deception. No matter how difficult the journey may become, we will continue to pursue what we believe is right and truthful. Speak with conviction and encourage our audience to think critically, examine the evidence, and draw their own conclusions. Truth endures forever. Integrity endures forever. That is why we remain committed to this journey with you. They can't break us. Never. But as we say, the longest liver will see. Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers, subscribers and Patreon member. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because they save lives. This is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives at this channel. We at the channel aid criminals with a passion and do not want them over here. We do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes, or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you to go to prison or the departure lounge at Madden. Moving on to today's video. And this is a disclaimer. Jerome was not my friend. I was never my friend. Period. As I stated before, I am the kind of person, once I know that you're involved in killing other people, I stay away from you. Yeah, so Jerome was never my friend. And I normally, throughout my career as a police officer, I've never, seek new friends. Like people that I did not know before I was police officer and run. No, that wasn't me. All of the people that I knew before I was police officer, I would, have no problem talking with them. But like new friends, that wasn't me. I didn't have any new friends. Like, people like a Jerome background, not me. So one of the oldest principles in warfare, espionage, spying, or informing, or, organized crime and intelligence work is this. The easiest way to defeat an enemy is not always through direct confrontation. Sometimes it is gaining access to the people closest to them. So what they did, it was Gomiko. Gomiko is the man, the in-between man. And all of this was played out. That's why the people in a Jerome organization, that's why they're pointing all fingers to Gomiko. There's other things too, other facets to what happened the day when Jerome killed Cat. But as I said before, and I'll say, people from Jerome, from Rev side, said that it was Cat that they wanted to kill Cat and rob them before he went to prison and decided that he's not going to pay them. And Jerome should not be there, but yet Jerome should not be there, but and Cat was there, and Cat is close. Cat and Nankopal were very, very close friends with Jerome. Even the day when they had killed Jerome and Cat, Nankopal had spoken to his handlers within Rev organization. He had spoken to Prento down there in Fort Lauderdale. Prento is the right-hand man for Rev. History is filled with examples where organizations were not defeated from the outside but weakened from within. Trust is one of the strongest bonds between people, but when trust is abused, the consequences can be devastating. That is why there is an old saying, keep your friends close, but be careful who earn a place among them. And them say keep your friends close and your enemies closer. But Jerome wasn't doing that. He wasn't keeping his friends close and his enemies closer. He was keeping his enemies closer and didn't know. The idea is simply if someone wants information about an organization, they may try to build relationships over time. They may present themselves as loyal, dependable, or helpful. So them use both and to show you that some criminals, they are not smart. Because like a man like Cat who just came from prison, you know, but that's how criminals operate. You know, this nonchalant attitude and confident that people loyal and people won't hurt them. Whether in military history, law enforcement, intelligence services, or organized crime, infiltration is often used to gather information about routines, relationships, vulnerabilities, and decision making. So that's why when they killed Jerome, everyone thought that he was killed at his girlfriend's shop, but it wasn't. So people are wondering what was he doing on the street. So as one of Dudu's brother, Levity, says that could not happen to him because as a laborer, he would not be in a vehicle with two PMP, known PMP activists, because of money. Them not brought them way there. They are tight-knit people, and number one, as him say, as I done, you're not supposed to out there the things, you're supposed to have your second them other things, but some people, it's just all about them. The objective is not always immediate action. Sometimes the objective is simply to observe, wait, and understand. So they are saying that it's Gomiko is the one that made the call and give the whereabouts of Jerome because he wants to replace Jerome. He wants to be the Don from Airpen, in which for someone to become a Don, you have to spend heavily. It costs money to run gangs because you have to, the criminals that in the gang are like employees. Don have to buy clothes to them, give them money, everything. So I don't know why a man want that role. But that's how it is in the criminal honor world. Sometimes the objective is simply to observe, wait and understand. Once you know your enemy, then you strike with precision. And the reason why they're looking at Gomiko is because of his background too. He has PMP connection in his family, and they don't believe that he's a natural or a real laborite. They don't even trust him that way. And because Jerome had just brought him back to the mix, everything just played out. But I said before and I say again, I have known how criminals operate. A man will kill you not because of evidence, he just feel like. I have seen it happen in my life growing up where I'm from, and even as a police officer. That is why experienced investigators often say that information is one of the most valuable assets in any conflict. People tend to focus on weapons or money, but intelligence can be equally powerful because it shapes decisions. The broader lesson extends well beyond crime or intelligence operation. Businesses, governments, community organizations, and even community organizations and even families depend on trust. Trust should be earned carefully, and important decisions should be based on verifiable facts rather than assumptions about loyalty. And remember that, once you're involved in criminality, there's no honest criminal. So it doesn't matter how you think somebody love you. You might love a person and you're committing crime, but that person is jealous of you and want to replace you because they want to be the man. And for what? At the same time, it is equally important to avoid the opposite mistake, assuming that someone is an infiltrator simply because they know or associate with certain people. Association alone do not establish intent or wrongdoing. Responsible conclusions require evidence, not suspicion. So if you want to say, oh, them two men, Jerome get 3 shots, Cat get 41 shot, and Uncle Paul only get 1 in him foot. Yeah, Uncle Paul get 1. And I say, that kind of weird. When they get no headshot, everybody else get upper shot, up torso gunshot. So now the only person that they're looking at, Jamaica and Uncle Paul. So that's where all of the connections. The enduring lesson is this: relationships are powerful, trust is valuable, and both should be built with wisdom. History shows that infiltration can be effective tactics in many contexts, but identifying it in a real situation requires careful investigation supported by evidence, not speculation. It is just sad how this thing work out, because there are so many unanswered questions, misinformation, propaganda. Every homicide leaves behind more than a crime scene. It leaves unanswered questions, grieving families, and countless theories about what happened. The death of Jerome Cunningham is no different. Long before Jerome was killed, conversations were taking place in private circle. Messages were exchanged, warnings were calculated, and people discussed information that they believe deserve attention. Whether that information was accurate remains a question for investigators. But its existence has become part of the story. So what most people don't know, that the FBI is involved in the investigation from the get-go because of Cat. So those who attend the funeral, if you say straight and out for about, but if you're involved in 1 and 2 little things, once you're a criminal, you're on the radar of Uncle Sam. One of the most significant pieces of that chronology is a WhatsApp message that I have posted over 7 months ago before Jerome's death. December 6, 2025. I post that message. The video is right there, that they were going to kill Jerome. Some people ask me why I didn't contact Jerome. Jerome is not my friend. Jerome had friends in the same group that I had posted it to. And if you think the next video you will see for yourself. Because I don't care no balls in a guy, I don't protect people. Not even my own family member. I don't even protect my families. It doesn't mean say because somebody is friend with somebody mean that there's any wrongdoing. It only show it all has to do with a person's character. Okay, if you're not criminal and if you're not corrupt, no one can corrupt you. The central question is not whether every allegation contained in that message is true, but that is intelligence. Rather, it is whether the information should have prompted further inquiry. In policing, intelligence can gather investigative leads, but it does not establish guilt. Good investigators treat intelligence as a starting point, not a conclusion. Throughout this program, we have do our due diligence. Make sure that the audience is given the right, honest and truthful information. We don't just rush out things because we're looking view. We make sure that we do our due diligence, because what happened, it has to do with people's lives. So some people say that so we tell you this now. So this is the message that have been written in the group. The same Kevin Tiliba Roberts robbed his friends of 7 kilos of coke that he used the money in the last general election to buy votes, and refused to pay the people for their coke because he had JAMAICAN and Mandeville DIU, PIU and CIB personnel bodyguarding him and his wife. His sweetheart Lisa and brother are dead because of his connection to them. The police have killed one of the men who is suspected of killing her, that is Lisa, and the guy name is General. Now that she's dead, Tiliba, the robber, swore that he's going to kill Bobo in England and Jerome in America after he robbed the people. I have spoken to one of Tiliba's confidential member who has intimate knowledge of their plans. So I said, do you remember the case of the family that opened the Lasco and drank it in South Clarendon and died? It was Lisa's and Kevin Tiliba's Roberts was the boss. And then I said, Kier Duncan, that had the soup that was there in Mandeville, better be careful and mind them poison him like how they poisoned Dayton Campbell, Dayton Henry. Police must not love to eat from people. So they were saying that evil, this police officer, Kier Duncan, who was there, he was controlled by these men too because of money. So in police are like war. Because one thing with criminal don't keep secret, Once you are compromised as a police officer, they're going to tell everyone that you are them boy. Oh, nobody can say when I was police, I was there, boy. So Skeng, so since the killing of Jerome and everything had, Skeng, the people in Mandeville, they don't want Kevin Tiliba Roberts in their neighborhood because they are afraid of violence coming their way. And Rev has been speaking to Skeng and his member of parliament just about his security. But now that they have killed one of Dudu's best ally, closest ally, the man who would move heaven and earth for him, now they are in the crosshairs of others who wants, according to them want revenge because them killed them done. And Jerome did not deserve to be killed in that fashion. And everything that they have been saying about Mexicans are lies. Jerome Cunningham homicide, who do the allegations point to? The timeline, the warning and the unanswered questions. Remember, I want you to put emotion aside and pay attention to the one thing, the timeline. This program is not about convicting anyone in the court of public opinion. It's about examining information that existed before Jerome Cunningham lost his life and asking whether opportunities to prevent this tragedy were missed. Months before Jerome was killed, as I stated, I posted the information in a WhatsApp group after receiving intelligences from sources that I consider credible enough to share as a warning. My objective was simple. If there was even a possibility that someone's life was in danger, I believe that the information should be circulated so those close to him could take precautions. But no, the people who are close to Jerome, them close to Kevin Tilly Roberts too. I saw it go with money, you know. Remember, so who were not loyalty and them thing there, you know. You understand? Because if you know, put it whether or not Jerome was my friend or not, and I saw somebody who I believe to be a trusted person post an information like that, I would reach out to them. But you have to understand, you know, when people do not like you, what I look at, this is one of the biggest thing what most people must realize now in a 2026, you know. Not because somebody talk to you means that them like you. Not because somebody might big you up and make you feel important means that them like you. Sometimes them are your biggest enemy. Because for some reason them have some form of jealousy or some form of hatred toward you. And sometimes when people find out, them time it's too late. But as for me, I'm so fortunate that, you know, the rocket science things just reveal itself. So be careful who you call a friend in a 2026. Be careful who you swear for. Because sometimes you swear with somebody and that's not the person that you thought you knew. Because people over time, people grow and grow from the person that you know them to be. But if somebody never corrupt before, no one can corrupt them. They weren't able to corrupt me when I was in the police force. You know, to involve with criminals, drug dealing. How? It had us to do with how you were raised, your ethics, your morality, decency. Whether every allegation in that message is true is a matter for investigators, not me, not you, or not social media. But one question remains: if people who knew Jerome had taken that warning seriously and contacted me, could additional information have been developed that might have helped protect him or assist investigators? About 2 weeks before, when all of this came out with Rev, or him reaching out the mix, and all, you understand, I just did not, because it was none of my business even say anything, to mention anything more about it. Because that would be like throwing ice in water. Ice will melt. So it will be irrelevant. The same people them where Jerome a friend with Tiliba. How them reconcile that now? If you know say, is that man kill them friend? That man ball out them eyes, you know. So as we examine the timeline, discuss the difference between intelligence and evidence, and explain why every allegation must ultimately be tested by facts, not emotion. You have to understand, you know. Intelligence is information that may point investigators in a direction. Evidence is information that can be authenticated and admitted in court. Whether or not you want to believe it, before the end of this month, LAPD would have you're going to hear them make a serious announcement about this killing. But who know Jerome know that he was betrayed. But he thought that he had everything locked and all of these people were in his corner. Little did Jerome know that some people there was no corner for him. There was just one road, straight to the departure lounge. And I said before and I say again, just be careful who you call friend. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel out.